Hi everyone. So I have noticed that in the past few new moon and full moon readings, there is a card that has shown up consistently and often at the bottom of the deck, and it is the Ace of Wands. Now, when a card, as it's called, stalks us, it means that there is a greater lesson that we are here to learn. And it either means that this is a theme of our life and that's why it's showing up more often, or that we have not yet learned that lesson. And so I thought, since this was coming up for the collective messages and not the card that's stalking me, I have a different one that's stalking me, that I would do a collective reading on what is the lesson that we are here to learn so that we can move beyond the Ace of Wands and start bringing in new energy and new abundance and new success. So the way that I pulled the cards for this reading was I had the Ace of Wands shuffled in the deck, and then I looked through the deck and I picked the 3 cards in front of the Ace of Wands, and then I picked the 3 cards after the Ace of Wands to put together this reading, and then we also have the bottom of the deck. So let's get into the Ace of Wands and what it is trying to tell us. All right, so when I look at the bottom of the deck with the 7 of Pentacles, this basically sums up a lot of the energy that's been showing up in the new and the full moons lately on my channel, which is I put in the work, I put in the effort, I've planted my seeds. Are they ever going to grow? I see them sprouting, but then they don't ever turn into anything tangible, and I'm starting to feel lost. I'm starting to feel really tired. I'm starting to wonder if this is ever going to work out for me, or am I doomed to failure? So that is what I feel like this perfectly sums up the times that the Ace of Wands has come up for us. So now let's talk about how we can move beyond these energies. What is the lesson that the Ace of Wands is trying to teach us? So obviously the Ace of Wands itself is about trust. It's about knowing that Spirit has your back. It's about receiving divine downloads and wisdom and ideas and direction. So it's a pretty positive card all around. And in the new moon and full moon readings for the past about 2 months now, it's really been about trusting that Spirit has your back. But there's more to it based on these cards. So the first thing is with the Emperor, Spirit is wanting us to take a more leadership-oriented role in our own lives. Now, this doesn't mean actually finding people to lead or being the leader of a team. It really is about being the leader of our own lives, taking the reins of our own lives. Now, a lot of times when we think about leader, or when we hear about leader, we hear the positives. We hear about how it's good to be a leader and everybody should strive to be a leader and, you know, whatever it is. We're often encouraged to be the leader, but on an internal level, we can maybe have some opposition to being that leader, to being an emperor. That is somebody who can sometimes be domineering if we've been around poor leaders. There is somebody who can be very bossy. There's somebody who only thinks about themselves. So everything has its positives and negatives, and within you, you may be feeling more of the negatives whenever you hear that. And the way this may be playing out in your life is you're maybe saying yes to things that you shouldn't. You're maybe giving in to things that maybe you really don't want to do. You are maybe staying in situations longer than you should and not really taking charge of either that situation or taking charge of a different path regarding that. So what I mean by that is maybe you are looking for a particular opportunity and it's really not moving very quickly. And so you're waiting around instead of looking for other opportunities with full force and interest. So there's some way in your life where you are not taking the reins, where you're not taking charge. And part of that might be because you think it's rude to go after what you want. It's rude to say no. It's rude to not give in, or it's not loving if I don't give in. And so you may have some kind of dynamic around being selfish that Spirit would like you to explore, to understand, and to release, because right now Spirit wants you to take charge. Right now Spirit wants you to embody this kind of energy. One way to help you embody this energy is with the 6 of Pentacles over here. You are a giver. Absolutely. You have a lot to offer. And if you can keep that in mind, you will be able to step into your own leadership. If you remember that you have a lot to offer, that you bring a lot to the table, you won't sit around waiting for just one opportunity when there's so many others. You'll think, you know what, I would love this opportunity. It's on hold right now. I'm going to, there's nothing I can do about that. So I'm going to remember that I have a lot to offer, and I'm going to look for other opportunities in the meantime, because I do have a lot to offer. I don't have to wait for this one thing. Maybe you think that you have to stay here because you don't think that there are other opportunities available to you, or that nobody else would want you, but you have a lot to offer. And the moment that you remember that, you will realize that, and you'll be able to start creating new paths, opening your new doorways, which allows the universe to bring more things to you. Because if this doorway is kind of stuck and it's the only one that you're keeping open, well, universe might be bringing you a lot of really good things, but you're not opening that door. So if you start opening the door, not shutting this door unless you want to, but opening other ones in addition, you're going to find that there are a lot of gifts that Spirit has to give you, right? Spirit does have your back. Are you letting it have your back? With the 8 of Cups and the Hermit, there may be a lot of internal work that you're doing. Now, this might need to come to an end. And you might be confused by that, because the second Gemini New Moon video that I just did was about tapping into your subconscious so you can tap into your soul. But that work is so that you can understand what the other paths are. That work was so that you could embody the 3 of Wands and start creating a greater vision for yourself and start looking at other opportunities. What these 2 cards are saying is you're doing this to heal. You're doing this to try to fix yourself. But there really isn't anything to fix aside from letting go of this negativity that you may have around the idea of being selfish, and knowing that you are allowed to take the reins. If you need permission, I'm giving it to you. A lot of people need that, right? Even I need that sometimes. I don't know that I'm allowed to. So if you need permission, I'm giving it to you. You have permission to take charge of your life. You will find that if there are a lot of conflicts in your life, whether they are spoken or underneath the surface, they will start to dissipate. You know why? Because you have a lot of turmoil within you whenever you say yes to something that your soul and your body want to say no to. And the inner turmoil starts creating things in the external, which can be a feeling of aggression or turmoil between you and another person, or it actually materializing. But once you release that energy from yourself, a lot of these issues will start to dissipate. You won't feel them anymore. You won't even notice them anymore, because you'll be in tune with yourself. So, if you are wanting to materialize things and it is not working for you and you feel so stuck in the 7 of Pentacles energy, I've planted it, I've done the right work, I've nurtured it, but where is it? This is your key. It's time to take the reins. It's time to remember that you bring a lot to the table. You will start getting offers for yourself. It's time to stop blaming yourself and just cut that out. Just cut it out. And you will find that other issues in your life start to cut it out too. For some, the issues may get a little bit worse at first, but I feel like for most it's not going to. And even for those where it does, it'll last, 5 days at most, maybe not even that long. And then you will find that you're at peace and that you are calm. Because when we are at peace and at calm, we are in alignment and we can receive all that the universe wants to give us. So I will leave it here. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next one.